Podcasting from our homes during lockdown where we'll be spending the rest of our lives. This is Bored, the podcast where we keep you entertained during your never-ending time at home. I'm your host, Alan7009, with my co-host,
101.
On this week's episode, we are pleased to welcome our final guest of the series, the streamer, YouTuber, and many more. It's Burning Sofa.
Hello guys, I just want to say thank you guys for having me. It's a wonderful experience and I'm very excited to do it, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
Well, for the final time in this series, we'd like to ask our guests a little Q&A, so the viewers can get to know you. So the first question is always: how are you finding lockdown?
Well, I think I haven't really struggled with it because I like spending time at my house, and I think it's given me a chance to not get told off as much in school either during remote learning. So I think it's been a lot easier for me in a sense, and also I've been able to spend more time with my family.
But what about in the
I
sense
usually
of
wouldn't
like
get a chance to do
your friends and stuff? Like, are you missing? Oh no, but you can meet them now, can't you?
Yeah, I've been calling them. Like, I've met a few, but like I haven't actually like I've been talking to them. I think I've made good contact with my friends. I haven't really been like I haven't ignored them.
Yeah.
Through lockdown.
Okay. All right. So the second question is, what have you been doing to pass your time during lockdown?
I just usual playing PlayStation, watching YouTube, Netflix, Amazon Prime, and stuff like that. Just
basically whatever.
mainly
All the
like
ones you got Disney Plus, got Netflix.
Yeah, the mainstreaming things are like Disney Plus,
Netflix, Amazon Prime,
Hulu. I don't think do British people use Hulu. I don't think so.
No, I don't.
It's more American, isn't it? I don't use Hulu
either.
Nice. Now, moving away from occupying your time in lockdown, regarding school, how has the whole experience of remote learning been for you?
I think remote learning, like, I didn't actually find that easy because for me, they would just send us all the work and it like on Monday, and then we just had to do it throughout the week and then send it in on Friday, so it wasn't actually that bad.
Yeah. Is it easier than school, or would you say it's harder?
I think honestly, I think it might have been easier than school.
Yeah, I agree.
Because like I wasn't like getting told off, and I was focusing 90% of the time. I wasn't I probably focused more at home than I did at school. Yeah.
All right, moving on to something on school. Do you actually miss school?
I think I miss school just because like friends and like the lessons. Because some lessons are better to be like
Together.
done in school, and then with other people done in school, than just having to do it at home, because otherwise it's not as fun.
Yeah, for example, something like drama or DT.
Yeah.
Like, they're things that you have to do with your friends in school together, but doing it from your home is just not the same
It's a
thing.
lot harder. Yeah.
Yeah.
So government have said that they want schools to be open by September. But do you think schools will? And if so, are you excited to be going back?
Honestly, I think because of the fact that lots of things have been opening, like all the shops are open, restaurants, you can actually physically go to town. It's only like a meter length, I believe, like social distancing wise. So I believe if it doesn't all go to hell, it just get screwed up, and then we just have to, like, if there's a second spike, then I think it should be fine, and we will go back to school. And if that does happen,
because Boris Johnson has said
excited.
he's very keen on not having a second lockdown. So even if there is a spike, the government, I don't think they will want to keep schools closed any longer, regardless of whether it's terrible, regardless of whether we might get the coronavirus. Because
it's the economy, isn't it? I think they're focusing on like the economy, right now, because it's taking such a massive hit.
That's the reason they're slowly opening things, and schools will be lost, because schools may affect the economy, but not as much as like when shops are open and when like leisure centers are open and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so people arriving from Spain are now being asked to quarantine. Do you think this should be expanded to more countries outside of the UK?
I think so, yes, because like, otherwise, if people who did come from countries which, like, for instance, like USA or Russia or Brazil, then we can very likely have a second spike due to the fact that they could be carrying corona. And so I don't think this is a risk that we want to take as a country. And
but the thing is, if you do have to quarantine, who's going to patrol that? Who is going to know?
Who's going to make sure that you quarantine?
So I know some countries are having specialized hotels where they literally giving
isolation hotels and stuff.
They're literally giving the people coming on holiday free hotel space, free rooms. All they have to do is just stay there. Like, they can go out once in a while. I think that's what New Zealand were doing at some point.
New Zealand have barely any cases though.
Yeah, that's because they've been managing it very well. New Zealand is actually quite a big country when you come to think about it. But they controlled the borders and they had a lockdown very early.
Yeah. All right.
So we know you're a gamer from the headset that you are wearing. So what is your favorite game at the moment?
It's got to be Dead by Daylight. If you guys don't know, that is like a 5-player game. So there's 1 killer and 4 survivors. Essentially,
you basically have to run and hide from the.
You have to run and hide. Yeah, it's fun just because I'm a massive horror fan. And I love stuff like this. So yeah, but I've also been playing a lot of Fortnite with friends just because it's an easy game to play with people on.
So on the contrary, what's your least favorite game at the moment?
I really hate Rocket League because I went around a friend's house and I played it with him and I got thrashed, so I hate it because I can't be bothered to buy it.
I don't like Rocket League that much. I have it, but it's hard to get used to.
Yeah, it just feels weird, so I don't really like it. I don't really like the controls. Also, I'm more used to playing like gun games.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of weird to do racing.
Yeah, and it's coming out free in the summer anyway.
Yeah, I might give it a shot at it and see where it goes. But yeah, I've been playing. I know if we're talking about games at the moment, I've been playing Jedi Fallen Order on my stream recently.
Jedi Fallen Order, yeah, that's a really good game. And they've got it on sale as well, which is really good.
Yeah, on PS Store, it's like £20, I believe, if you want to go pick that up. If you have a credit/debit card.
Yeah, and
so we use these Q&As so the viewers can get to know you and we know you. So, but for the viewers that don't, so can you tell us a bit about your YouTube channel?
Well, I think at the moment I'm not really using YouTube that much. I used to use it quite a lot because I used to have a YouTube account called Burning Sofa. Then my content was quite so I mainly just deleted like 90% of videos. So I don't think there's much left on there.
So now you're streaming on Twitch, aren't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I started not yesterday, but the day before. So I started on Friday.
Yeah. So you're doing daily streams now, right?
Well, that's the
plan.
Well, that's what I would like to do, but I don't think I'll stream today. But I'm going to try and stream as much as I can.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
Also, where can everyone find you other than YouTube and Twitch?
I have an Instagram which I use a fair bit, but it's just kind of like my personal account. Will.Thatcher06. Thank you.
You got Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch, which is great.
Yes.
Now, moving on, we're nearing the end of the Q&A. We know that you are quite passionate about acting. So, what got you into acting in the first place?
I think it was just like watching films because I think I used to watch lots of films. Like I like films quite a lot. Like I think I like acting because I like creating like a second version of myself using the character as a sense. But I think I like film. I like to act to like create a character. But I think I would like to do directing more just because I'll be able to create an entire story instead of just like show one character because I think that would be a lot more fun, and also I'll be able to be a lot more creative with how I do it, and I wouldn't have as many restrictions as I would if I was playing a character.
Nice.
Finally, do you see acting as becoming a career for you?
Potentially, yeah. Like if I can like get better at it in a sense and keep building like credits, I guess, as like doing things like such as amateur feature reductions and doing plays at my school and stuff like that. Then we're trying out for auditions. Then hopefully or directing, something to do in that industry.
So do you like directing, or are you not keen on it?
Well, I like directing. Like normally, if we're doing like stuff for drama, then I'm normally the one to take the lead and try and like if it's script writing, then I would try and write the script and stuff like that.
Yeah. So you prefer you're not keen on becoming a script writer, but you're keen on becoming either an actor or a director.
No, I think I would much rather I would much rather be a script writer and director, because then I'll be able to create my own story.
That's the point. Yeah.
Watch it come into like what it actually is. But from what I've heard, screenwriting is very hard.
Yeah. So, guys, this has been the final Q&A of the season 1 board, and we're gonna see you after the break.
We're at board the podcast for the final time. I've got well, not technically the final time for the facts. Hopefully we'll have one next week, but for the final, if it is the final, we've got a big fact today. So if you are up for losing weight but also injuring yourself, then we've got a cracking fact for today. Did you know that banging your head against a wall for 1 hour straight burns 150 calories, but alternatively, you can walk your dog for 45 minutes, and which also burns 150 calories and is much less painful.
Jeez, that's. I think I might go for the banging head one. Not gonna lie,
Wait, do you even have a dog though?
Oh yeah, exactly. So what if I don't have a dog?
Yeah, that is true.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point actually.
Yeah.
Just put a sister on a lead and just walk her.
Yeah. Okay. So as we're nearing the end of the season, obviously, we're doing tough times during coronavirus, and also the ongoing Black Lives Movement is here.
Yeah.
So, what we're going to do is we're going to be taking a minute of silence for our key workers and to support the Black Lives Movement. And that's our minute up for the week. Now, the final segment of the podcast will be with our guest, Sir Burning Sofa. He has a ranks and top 10 movies for us. So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
All right. So first of all, I've ranked all the Star Wars films, not like the series or anything, because otherwise we'd be here for about 10 minutes. So I've kind of gone for like what I thought was from worst to best. You guys can agree or disagree. It depends on what you like more. But I've just gone for what I think has the best story and characters and stuff like that. So worst is Attack of the Clones, just because I think it's quite sloppy and it's not really as interesting as the others. Like there's good fight scenes, but Anakin's sad monologue is probably the worst part of the entire Star Wars franchise as a whole. And then we've got the Phantom Menace, which is it's good, but I think it's not the Star Wars that people wanted, because they waited 16 years for a new Star Wars film, and then they got Phantom Menace, which is arguably a piece of junk. And then Solo: A Star Wars Story, which kind of is it's a fun story, but it doesn't really add anything to the Star Wars franchise as we know it, except from the fact that we know how Chewie and Han became friends. And then number 8 is The Rise of Skywalker, which essentially it had one of the worst lightsaber fight scenes in the entire Star Wars franchise, with literally them going that, and then I'm not really getting into it.
I can't leave her! We can't! Right!
And then Rogue One: A Star Wars Story, which is actually quite good. I just think it kind of it's good for the fact that it just adds a bit at the end which instantly connects to A New Hope. But apart from that, it doesn't really add much to Star Wars as a whole, except from the fact that it explains how they got the Death Star plans. And so essentially, it's a bit of a cash grab. And then in Revenge of the Sith, this is one of the better ones. I think it ultimately is the best of the prequel trilogy, and it just makes yeah. All right, and then number 5 is The Last Jedi, which is really, really, really good. It basically introduces Luke as a whole new character to what we've seen him before, and it's very interesting because then we get this whole new side of Luke, which we never thought was possible after watching the original trilogy. And then so the 4th is Return of the Jedi, which is the weakest out of the original trilogy. It's good, but the Ewoks, they're a bit, yeah. All right, and then number 3 is The Force Awakens, which is just it's a good story. It's kind of like the modern day version of A New Hope, and it's good, but it just doesn't really have the nostalgia that A New Hope has, and that's why A New Hope is second and ranks the highest. It introduced the Star Wars universe to us in a glorious fashion with so many different effects, lightsabers, this wondrous universe essentially. And then the best, of course, is The Empire Strikes Back, which is just the second one. It delivered so many jaw-dropping moments, such as Luke's hand getting chopped off, Han Solo frozen in carbonite, and yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah,
so overall, that is the
legend.
best. Do you guys agree? Or?
What about the most? Did you say the most recent one? The
Rise of Skywalker. That is not at number 8.
On number 8. Oh.
Yeah, it's
I
a bit
sloppy.
disagree
with that. I think that's one of the best, to be honest.
Nah, it's really Yeah, but you're saying it's good because it's a long, very well done. The effects are brilliant, but if you peel back the layers, the lightsaber battle between them on a water planet is them literally doing 3 hits in about 40 seconds. Whereas if you look at the old ones, it's what's made the Star Wars.
It's like 200 per second.
Yeah, it's brilliant. That's why, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. But we all have to give props for Kylo Ren's final thing. He finally moved to the light side. He finally helped Rey.
Yeah. It's a good film, but I just don't think it's one of the best Star Warses. All right, and then moving on.
Before moving on, when I saw him kill his own father, I thought he'd never turn to the light side, because to kill Han Solo, that is a proper, that just shows you in the dark side. Like, can't believe you killed the #1 legend in the saga. Like, how could you do that?
Yeah. All right, and then moving on to probably my favorite part of the episode is the horror villain tier list. It's not really a tier list. It's mainly my top 10. I've kind of done it like I've got my top 10 favorite ones, and I've just ranked them via power in a sense. So yeah, at number 10 we have Jack Torrance from The Shining, who you can kind of argue whether he's a villain or not. He kind of is, because I think he has this psychotic episode and then just basically becomes a fill-out. Like, something changes you, right? In basically every horror villain. So surely after something, if they're going to kill someone, I'm saying they're a villain, and that's fair.
Here's Johnny.
Yeah, exactly. All right, and then at number 9 we have Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lambs, the famous cannibal himself. This guy is very brutal, but I think he's quite psychological as well. He's kind of like a mix of both, and that's what makes him so great. But he's not particularly the strongest out of the people here. Then we have Carrie. Now, Carrie arguably is quite strong because she has telekinesis. But the thing is, though, she doesn't really know how to use it. So I would say that if she stuck around instead of killing herself at the end, then it wouldn't really work, would it? All right. And then at number 7, we have the Candyman. This bloke is strong. He has bees in his chest. He has a what's it called, like Captain Hook's hook, like that. But the only problem is, he can only come when he is summoned. That's why he is not the strongest here, sadly. But I really like the character. He adds stuff to the horror thing, like the horror villains, as we know, because like, who would have thought bees in a chest? It's just very, very, I don't know, unique and fun, which is why I like it. All right, so at number 6 we have Annie Wilkes, who is, well, she is in Stephen King's famous book Misery, and that was also a film as well. She served at a hospital in Colorado, and she killed 7 orphans, which is quite horrendous. She's a bit like Michael Myers in the fact that she signaturely uses a knife, but overall she is very psychotic. She kills almost 70 people, so she's quite brutal, but she also nearly gets away with it. So the fact that because of that she's quite strong, and she's also quite brutal as well, and she's able to access stuff unlike Candyman and some other people in it. All right, and then there's Leverface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But the problem is, though, he is very strong. But the only problem is he doesn't really kill unless he goes into unless you go into his house, which kind of is a weak point for him. Number 4 we have Freddy Krueger from Nightmare on Elm Street, the best of the best. He kind of has like this power to go into a dream world, which is quite interesting and also very powerful for him, which is why he is ultimately very strong, because he can essentially, well, this is just a theory, but in Freddy vs. Jason, I believe that the big battle at the end was not in the real world but in the dream world, because you'll believe he dies, but he actually doesn't, or at least we don't think so, because he winks with his head chopped off. Clip. All right, and then number 2 we have, at number 3 we have Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th, who arguably cannot die, but overall he doesn't really kill. He doesn't really kill that much. He's weak because he only kills people who have sex. All right, and then number 2, one of my personal favorites is Michael Myers from Halloween. Arguably, he is very strong because he's killed over 100 people in all films. He doesn't really go to space. He doesn't do weird stuff like that, which shows he's kind of like what am I saying? Basically, he's very strong. He's very hard for him to die and stuff like that. But yeah, and then at number 1, who easily outranks all of the people here, is Pennywise, the dancing clown. Now, he outranks everyone due to the fact that he literally can shapeshift into anything. He is able to kill mostly anything. he doesn't need to be summoned like Leverface or anything else like that. The only problem is the fact that he sleeps and he can only come out for a year every 27 years, which basically destroys his power. But in a year, he'll probably be able to kill more people than everyone else combined.
He'd probably, if he can shapeshift, he'd probably kill, I'd say, a whole country, if I'm honest, in a whole year. 1 year, it would take him.
No, but he's bound to Derry, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, that was his tier list. Let us know if you agree.
Agree with it.
So, Brad, what did you think of the characters?
I haven't watched any of them, so I can't comment. But
yeah,
I'd say I've watched
hardcore.
about 6 of them.
You've got reasons for your answers, so that seemed like a strong point, and you can understand.
Yeah.
If you've got
most of them I had reasons at least. Some I had to check because I couldn't quite remember, but apart from that, it was right.
Well, if you've got reasons, then I think you're right. I reckon you've got a good.
I'm only used to them like. Yeah. But but Pennywise is the best by far.
Yeah, obviously, everyone knows. So guys, that's been this week's episode of Board. The final guest, which is actually very saddening because it's been such a journey with all the guests on the show. But if you will miss them, don't worry, because next week, hopefully, we'll have all of them coming back for the big finale of Board.
Well, we're doing like some kind of Ant and Dec show.
Yeah, it could be like that. It could be. Anyways, guys, if you have enjoyed watching, make sure you leave a like on this video or subscribe. And make sure you check out both Burning Sofa and Brady on YouTube. But you can check out
check out my Twitch.
His Twitch, where he streams quite a lot.
Put a link down below.
In the description, there'll be a link. Also, if you're listening to this from Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, make sure you leave us a review. Drop us a follow on SoundCloud. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you next week for the amazing,
finale.
very much to look forward to, Board finale.